Hello, I hope you guys are all doing great. This is the nail art design we're going to be working on today. We're going to be working on a snake pattern nail art design. Let's get started. The first thing to do is apply a background color. Any one of your choice will work great. The one I'm going to be using is this one by Max Factor, and it's called Silver Screen Argente. I'm going to be applying 2 coats over my entire nail. Now we're ready for the next step. To create the patterns on my nail, I'm going to be using 2 types of material. I'm going to be using this one, which is a bigger type of honeycomb material. It's more like a netting material, a little bit bigger, and then on top of that we're going to be using a tulle type of material, and this one's just very small. Let me see if I could. It's just very small tulle material, sort of like also like a honeycomb pattern. So both of them we're going to be using. The first one I'm going to be using is the bigger one, and for the bigger one I'm also going to be using this type of acrylic paint. This one's called Metallic Antique Copper, and this is the first one I'm going to be using. Apart from this, you're also going to need 2 makeup sponges, and for the white tulle material I'm going to be using just a regular black acrylic paint. So we're going to start with the bigger honeycomb mesh material, and I cut it a little bit longer, and the reason I cut it a little bit longer is because I want to be able to place it and wrap it around my finger without it being too short. So that's the way we're going to start wrapping our finger, and I'm going to be placing the copper paint on my background paper. So I'm going to place that down, and I wanted to show you guys exactly how I'm going to be doing it, and I placed the paper on the background because it could get sloppy. And that's also, you can use nail polish, but you'll have to use the polish remover to remove it from around. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to place the bigger mesh material and I'm going to wrap it around my finger. That way it's nice and tight all around. I'm going to get my first makeup sponge and I'm going to dab it lightly, and I'm going to dab it all around. I don't want it to be so dark. I want it to look just a light golden color. So I'm going all around, placing that, and I'm going to very carefully remove it, and then there's the pattern. Now we're going to move over to the smaller mesh material. So here's my smaller mesh material. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to place it on my finger and I'm going to wrap it around nice and tight all around and on the corners, just like that. So next thing to do is I'm going to get my other makeup sponge and I'm going to dab it on the back. But it's very critical for you not to do it so dark, because then it'll all turn into like a muddy color, and you don't want that. So you can see there, it's barely there, and you can start certain areas, you can do them darker than others because that adds to the effect. So I'm starting there, so this area could be a little bit darker. I'm going to dab it again, and now I'm going to start going over the entire nail, just over the mesh material. And if you think it's too dark still and you want different tones in there, go in there and dab it on your paper a little more. Okay, I'm going to dab it a little more so I could get different dimensions of different tones. Okay, so there we have it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove it, very carefully remove it, and there you have the pattern. I've dipped my cotton swab in water, and you could see how easy that comes out. So you can actually do this design with nail polish, but it'll probably just take polish remover to remove it. And you can see how easy it is when you use the water-based paints. And if you're using water-based acrylic paints, then what you can do is you can use alcohol to remove all the mess-ups in the corners. And that's it to clean it. I'm going to be applying a little bit of the top coat over this area so I could place a little crystal. And this step is totally optional, but I wanted to add the little simple rhinestone there on the side. Just place it at the perfect angle. And the last step is for you to apply your top coat. This is very important even if you use nail polish to create your design. but especially even more important if you use the water-based acrylic paints, because you want to keep your design for the week to come. So that's it. That's how you're going to get the snake pattern nail art design done. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and try out these snake pattern nails using your favorite colors. Be safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!